Welcome everyone to our contest video. The competition is organized by O3 Ozon AC Piotr Paruszewski for the independent installation of a recuperation system. So here I'll show you how it looked at my construction site. We'll begin with the control unit A300. Here's the intake and exhaust connection, which is made from EPS ducts. These ducts are really great to work with. So all these connections here, you can easily make them. Everything fits tightly onto the connectors. The only problem here is that if you wanted to make two channels 90 degrees vertically upwards, these fittings just won't fit here. So what we'll have to do here from one side, either from the air intake or from the air exhaust, we simply need to extend it with two elbow fittings. And then in that way, we will resolve this issue for ourselves. Connections to the plenum boxes are made of thermoflex. This was also purchased from the O3 Ozone company. And here we have the box for the supply and here for the exhaust. So let's go through it step by step to see how it looks. We are now exiting the boiler room area, and this particular space here is the laundry room. This little box right here is connected to the extractor fan, and this is where the entire system has been installed. Over there you can see the pipes that lead into the bedroom. From this point we'll proceed further into the remaining part of the house. In the hallway, I really had to get a bit creative, because I was having trouble creating those gentle curves, so I had to install these pipes one directly above the other, one below the other. So that's how it's been resolved here. This is the bathroom exhaust, and the ceilings have already been suspended. But here we have an opening that's been cut specifically for the extractor. So this is how the entire setup appears. Here we are currently in one of the bedrooms. The expansion box has been carefully positioned 80 centimeters away from the window, precisely in accordance with all the specific recommendations that were clearly outlined within the project documentation. From this point, we will then proceed further to explore the subsequent rooms, and as for the air supply vents themselves. And this is precisely how everything appears right here. The entirety of the installation is completely suspended within this specific warm zone. Consequently, there will be no need for any additional insulation to be placed underneath these particular panels. It will only be positioned up high within the attic, resting on those OSB boards. Therefore, there really shouldn't be any issue with these pipes condensing anywhere. So, this is how it appears in the following room. Moving on, I actually encountered a slight challenge right here, primarily because of the access point leading up to the attic. The space was quite constricted, making it tricky to navigate the turns smoothly and crucially to avoid creating any sharp or significant bends in the piping itself. So what I did was simply route this particular pipe underneath everything else, and by doing so we've successfully preserved those gentle flowing curves. And that's precisely how it turned out in the end. Right here we're standing in what is the main corridor, which directly connects to the primary entrance of the entire building. And just over there you can see the passage for the exhaust system that goes into the storage room. Also, in this specific spot, we have the exhaust vent coming from the adjacent toilet facility. So that's how everything looks around here. Now we're in the living room, and we have both of the supply air boxes installed. The air supply vents are also positioned 80 centimeters away from the window. I made an effort to ensure that this arrangement was as symmetrical as possible. And over here, we have another air supply vent with its own double pipe connection. All of the pipes used throughout this entire system are 90 millimeters in diameter. It is good that they're the 90 millimeter ones because they're much simpler to install. There are far fewer of these pipes. The work involved is much easier with all of this. Here I still need to build a frame for the ceiling. Here we also have an important extract. Here we have a storage space, and right next to it, the kitchen. Additionally, in this very spot, there's also a box containing the pipes for the extractor fan. So, and that's how everything appears. The complete layout of all these pipes was already clearly defined within the project plans. So it's a really big help when it comes to the actual execution of this entire setup, because trying to plan all of this completely on my own would have been a real problem, but this way, well, now we have a fully prepared project in hand, and we are meticulously following its detailed plan. I'll just skip over for a moment to the main control panel, and there I'll share some additional information with you. And now, we've returned right here to the central unit. Here, when purchasing the main ventilation unit, it was great because I managed to take advantage of a promotion that was organized for Halloween. So this heat exchanger with humidity recovery is installed here. Well, that's great because a couple of $100 were saved there. The black and white controller that was supplied with this central unit. And to fully complete this installation, I still have to mount these flow regulators, the filters, and finish running the ductwork there to the fresh air intake and to the exhaust vent. There's still something that needs to be done here. I didn't fully prepare it in the attic yet because we'll still need to briefly take down this main control unit to tile that boiler room somewhere. And what's also great about this solution, for example, is that you can connect the thermoflex directly to the central unit's ports. But if we do it with this elbow, it also allows for easy, simple disassembly. You can pull it out, and it's also simpler with this elbow for assembly to seal everything up. I also think that 100 zloty is not a great fortune. And it looks much better, and I also believe that it really makes things easier. Makes the installation of these thermoflexes easier, which I'll probably at some point in the future still switch to, also to these channels. Inflexible, because it also looks much more aesthetic. And I also think there shouldn't be any problems with these regarding these channels. This is how it looks here. Well, this is the very first installation I've ever done. I've never had to deal with anything like this before. But somewhere over there, with this project, you can always call and ask questions if there are any ambiguities. So it's great because these consultations are also included in the price of the entire installation, which is definitely helpful if someone is doing it for the first time. Here, when installing this pipe from the air intake, I also had to slightly extend this elbow. And it's done by simply cutting a piece from a straight pipe. Inside there is a metal sleeve, and in order for everything to fit together nicely, there are channels located within. I have already taken a photograph of this, so I will be sure to include it somewhere here. It is simply designed in such a way, with a precise 1 centimeter cutout, to ensure that everything aligns perfectly, leaving no unsightly gaps anywhere, and eliminating any necessity for additional insulation. Well, unless there are some leaks or something like that here, then I'll just tape it up with some adhesive tape to make sure everything is sealed up tightly. But I think it looks pretty good, pretty much okay, and nothing, absolutely nothing should happen with it here. Especially since these connections, all these sleeves and so on, everything fits really snugly. So in this particular situation, there probably shouldn't be any problems. Here is yet another thing that I truly believe is important to show, because all these wall penetrations which were made somewhere, they are made in sleeves from pipes that were left after shortening these expansion plenums. So it's great because you can still use them somewhere else. If someone shortens these specific boxes and then they are forced to create these passages in such a way that a pipe is properly installed, it's then thoroughly insulated with foam, and this happens even before the final suspension of the ceilings. Here we're talking about the spaces that are located between the installation pipe and this particular passage. I will also make sure to seal it all up tightly so that the sounds don't travel from one room to another. And this is how it all looks right here, over there, where I ran out of those specific pipes that come in boxes. So what you see here is simply cut from a standard gray 110mm sewage pipe. Individual sections were then carefully prepared to match the exact thickness of the wall. And everything has been thoroughly foamed and sealed in such a way that there should be no issues or concerns about that pipe getting damaged or anything at all happening to it. Thank you for watching the video, and I wish you good luck with installing it yourself. I highly recommend doing it on your own, because if anyone has ever put together Lego bricks in their life, they will easily manage to do such an installation too. There's no need to go somewhere else for such less complicated installations. There's no need to spend a fortune on companies. No, you can easily do it yourself, even by yourself, because I did it here by myself too. For some pipes, I only had an idea how to run them, because the ceilings were already suspended and it's difficult to do that alone.
But if you just give it a little more time, then everything can be properly handled. Thanks.